Well, hello everyone. So, thank you for joining us for today's webinar. My name is Chen Hui. We are ADP students from Seri College, Kuala Lumpur. Today we are presenting about dark days in the tourism industry presented by Mr. Ammar. Before we get started, if you have any question during the presentation, please type them into the question below. We will bring them up during the presentation and we will also have the time for questions at the end. Now, without further ado, we will turn the time over to Mr. Ammar. So, our presenter today is Mr. Ammar Afandi. His profession is Sales Executive from Hotel Seri, Malaysia, Pulau Pinang, Bayan Baru. He is a master degree holder in Science Managerial Communication and a student at University Utara, Malaysia. He began his career in the insurance industry for a year before moving on to the banking industry for 2 years. After that, in 2019, he began his career with Hotel Seri Malaysia Pulau Pinang, where he is still working today. His expertise remains the same despite working in 3 different industries, as he is involved in the sales and marketing department. Now I shall pass the time to Irene and Mr. Ammar.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Ivy. Hello, everyone, and a very good morning, Ivy, to you all. I'm Irene Juliet, and I'll be your moderator for today. Before moving on to the event, however, let me just thank Mr. Ammar again for sharing his time and coming as a guest speaker for this event, despite being very busy with the hotel's reopening. How are the preparations coming along, Mr. Ammar?
So far, so good. So everything is under control at this moment, but still, we still can manage it.
Yeah. I hope it gets settled down lah, because year end is coming and everyone is rushing to book hotels,
Correct,
for
correct.
vacation, since it's been a while, right? It's been a
Right.
lockdown and people
All the
need.
function, all the wedding, all the lunch, all the small gathering. So hotel currently is in a good track at this moment.
That's good. That's good to hear. So, segueing to our very first question, what is the type of media that you prefer to use when it comes to engaging with your audience? Like, do you prefer old school media or social media?
For the first 1 year when I joined Hotel Stream Malaysia, I preferred old school media, which is face-to-face meeting my client, because I'm the new in this industry, hotel industry. So I meet my customer or I set up any appointment through face-to-face, which is whether I inviting them here at hotel or I meet them personally at the office. But once you build your networking for several years, I change my style, my type of media. When I'm doing my selling or anything, I change into social media because it's much easier for me since I have very strong networking currently. So despite with new challenging environment at this moment, still I prefer since pandemic, so we cannot meet our client face to face. So I prefer social media. So I have two type of meeting client currently, which is old school when I for the last 2 years, and then during after pandemic or post pandemic, I prefer more on social media.
Yeah.
So I have two type of social media. That
Oh,
is,
you use old school and social media lah.
yep, exactly, Erin. Uh, Old school like face to face. When you want to build your networking, when you want to sustain or build your relationship with your customer, your new customer, yes, you have to meet them because those contact or those people that I meet is like those who have what we call title, like doctor, like IR. So you need to talk to them personally, inviting them, like uh, appreciate them. But once you already have your networking, once you already know them well, then we mostly, I think, during pandemic, social media is crucial. Mm,
Yes, definitely. I agree with you. Because
mm,
a lot of the businesses switch to social media
correct,
because they have to close down their physical, and because they recognize the power of social media, so that's why they switched there. And it was working well for them lah. Like
correct,
when once they moved there to post everywhere, because word by mouth, like
correct, correct,
when every word spread. So yeah. Uh,
correct.
so I noticed that in any type of organizations, right, they will surely come about like conflicts and challenges, right? But I think it was especially hard during the pandemic because no one was expecting the pandemic to happen, right?
Yeah.
So like something very new like that, I'm sure there were new types of conflicts and challenges that were arise right in that situation. So what were the challenges that you faced during the pandemic? Like what specific challenges you had to face?
I can divide like two two part, which is internal and external. I go with external first, which is business going down and there's no revenue for like a year, and then I have to be very fast, thinking out the box to secure any possible business. And during pandemic, actually, uh, your your networking that you build, like face to face that I mentioned, really helped during this pandemic, which is you just give them a call and we change our source of revenue, source of income. We starting to call everyone, every contact, and we turn our hotel into hostel for foreign worker.
Ah,
Since
right, right, yeah, yeah. I
uh,
did hear about that, yeah.
that's the external part, which is with that's the reason why I really appreciate the old school style. You know, when you need them, it show, because when you have contact, even during pandemic, you still can do business, which is we call our corporate client, offer them, and then build offer them to change our room here. We have 138 rooms to become hostel, and then uh, during pandemic we have like 138 room with full capacity, which if we have 500 people in this building during pandemic, which is I can help my company to gain
Yeah,
the
definitely.
revenue. Is even though it's quite tough to encourage them, to ensure them that but still during pandemic, Hotel Sri Malaysia Pinang Bayan Baru is one of the hotel among 18 or 19 Hotel Sri Malaysia who can make money for our HQ. That's the external part. When I use the challenge during this pandemic. About internal part, which is organization within us. Yep. At first, it's like we are the only hotel, like budget hotel, who don't retrench our employees. So that's crucial. That's important thing, which is since since we get the revenue, since we get a source of incomes from the hostel, but we don't retain our employees. So our employee we can ensure them that even though we can hear a lot of rumor, right? Hotel industry is going to retrench the staff.
Mm-hmm.
Even though one of the, if you ever been here in Equatorial Hotel, one of the longest hotel in Penang, 30 years, Equatorial Hotel also closed because of pandemic. So
Yeah.
we need to ensure our staff, our internal, to put on hope a bit, trust me a bit, and then
Mm-hmm.
uh, and then we have to work together as a team. Even though we need to come a bit early to pick up all the 500 food is not that easy, you know.
Yeah.
Three times
Yeah. Can you imagine? Yeah.
500 pack, Erin. But still, I have to tell them that if we don't do that, if we cannot adjusting or be flexible during this pandemic, for sure, our service is going to be bad. So that's the reason I need to motivate. I need to tell them that that is the only way to survive during this pandemic. So that's kind of challenged me. So I have external, which is during pandemic is no revenue at all for the first 2 or 3 months. Then I come up with me and my team come up with hostel for rooms, and then food packing like delivery for the first time. We collaborate with Food Panda. We collaborate with yeah. That's the reason. That's the only way to at least to get revenue. We have to adapt. We have to think quick. And then I also do a delivery, go everywhere in Penang until Jawi, go to Jabatan Kedua whatsoever, to just to send like 100 of food packing for our clients. So that's, even though that's like a crucial time, like challenge time, but still we we enjoy
That's good.
as long as I do everything for revenue of the hotel. Because if I don't get any revenue, so it might be trouble for hotel. That's for sure. That's the challenge during pandemic.
Oh, I see. I see. But did your motivation work well? Like, was there still like no conflicts? Like, when you guys were strategizing like plans and all, like, were you the one like to always come up with the plans, or what if like other people had better plans and from there conflicts arise? Did that ever happen? Even though you were very motivated and you always motivated them to do their best and go for it and adapt.
Let me be frank lah, Irene.
Mm.
You know, when you're working with, when you're working in any organization, you have like certain age that you cannot control them, which is like 14, 15 years. Even though I among like you look my I might look a bit old, but still I'm like around 30. So when you need to motivate those like FMB executive who well experienced, housekeeper who well experienced, kitchen who working here for like 15 years, who well experienced, for sure there are some day that they might not agree, which is why I need to be flexible with all client during pandemic, because I believe in my principle. During pandemic you have to adapt very fast, very flexible, so they cannot adapt at, at the first, and by that time we can kitchen going to against, oh, what's wrong with me, why we need to come early, why we, same goes to F&B. So it's normal. When you work in the hotel industry, it's normal. But still, with by that time I still have like 4 team sales. By that time we lead by example. I tell my management, I tell my administration office to to be flexible, since they have no business, right? So there's more work need to do. So we offer we offer our hand to give them a help. So even though if at first like a bit sensitive issue, you cannot do that, I cannot do that, everything, but still I show them like why not administration also help you guys. So there is no issue like you have lack of manpower or so whatsoever. So so that's how I manage challenge during hostel by that time. 500 packs is not easy. I mean, there's so many here
I can imagine.
everywhere, and you can see by that time bus kilang, a lot of bus kilang, like 10 or 15 bus kilang every single hours. So it's quite challenging for me. But still, alhamdulillah, we still manage everything. They stay with us like 6 months. So we manage, and I get to know new people like HR manager from the company. So it's a good thing. It's a good business for us too.
Yeah, there are goods and bads lah during the pandemic. You
Yeah,
got to meet
correct,
new
correct,
people,
correct.
make new connections and all. I'm glad you managed to pull through, Mr. Ammar, during such a stressful time. Coming
It's
up
not
with
easy actually.
yeah.
Actually, at first it's not easy. Because maybe the age factor. Those like have you noticed like Malay tradition? You need to respect those elderly a bit, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
So some when we give you like honest view, honest frankly advice, they seems like not to accept. But when you lead by example, when you arrange everything back, so they can accept that. So I try to be flexible. I need very positive vibe around me by that time.
Yes,
But still,
yes.
alhamdulillah, everything is pretty well. I
Mm,
company as long as company can sustain the business, then that's okay for me lah.
yeah. Mhm. That's good lah. Like you manage to keep like the positive also around you. Because of course you need that to be positive. You can't
Yeah,
be surrounded by negative people. Telling you
exactly,
can't
exactly.
make it through.
But you can
So
imagine 500, Erin, 500 people during pandemic, and then
yes.
all the our neighbors, because we in the city hotel, so there are a lot of condo here. So people like be suspicious. What happened with Hotel Stream Malaysia? Huh? So people like suspicious bit. They thought Hotel Stream Malaysia is like COVID center. And then they are still I didn't mention yet. Yeah, police come every single day just to check because they receive a complaint. Because we don't blame police. We don't blame even the our condo here. But still, we need to talk to police now because the awareness. Yep, the awareness is from the condo neighborhood, right? So they worried. So we need to explain to the police that anything is like just hostel. So it's not like COVID like you receive from the report, something like that. But it's a good thing, lah.
Yeah, it is. I'm glad that you managed to go through. Like and managed to explain to the police. Must be tough for the police to come every day and question.
No, at
Like,
least even though for reopening function business, they still come. We already know each other. They call me, Cik Ammar, we need to do some spot check a bit. I received a complaint, blah blah blah, saying that you have a conference. I said to them like we have like 30 packs on leave, so nothing to worry, boss. I say like that, but still, I give my best way to help them to at least they did their job, right?
yes,
Just,
yes.
we just cooperate. As long as we cooperate with them, don't talk like respect them whatsoever. Still, they can still their SOP too.
Yeah. And like you mentioned earlier, right? Like a lot of the hotels that we know, they're very famous, a few years in and they had to close down during the pandemic, right? So what I think it's safe to say that tourism industry is like one of the hardest hit in the economy, right? And I'm very curious, and I'm also certain that a lot of our viewers here are also intrigued to know how exactly did you manage your finances. I know earlier you said like you had like the idea to what collaborate with Food Panda and all to bring in revenue. What other ways did you come up with, like other than turning your hotel into like a hostel with 500 people? What other ways did you manage to bring in your revenue? You know.
Oh, to bring in we sales team, we working like crazy. We need to think fast during pandemic. First month, second month is like it's like hell for us. So we try our best to sell our food hotel outside of the hotel. So we thought at first we don't get much because of like current pandemic. So there are no people who go into work by that time. But still, during pandemic, our condo neighborhood, they realized with our social marketing in social media, our marketing in social media, they realized and they support us during that time. And then to get revenue, we don't expect. I just expect to get like 100. Like we just sell nasi lemak, simple nasi lemak, during just to get the F&B revenue. But still, the demand is not bad by that time. We open the food hawker, right? Like yeah, something like that in front of our hotel. So that's the first thing. That's the first way our sales team need to manage. So we did like a few months because the revenue is so handsomely. At least we can get by that time like 1k, one k in the morning and 1k in the afternoon. So it's a good business too. And then after that, we collaborate with all the third party of delivery like Food Panda, like Grab Food, like Deliver Eat. And then after that, when the business is going strong for F&B, on the third month, only we can think how to sell our room. And then when we started to get the idea to turn our hotel into hostel, everything go with very fast during that time. So we had to pump, pump, very quick pump, pump, pump at that time. So so I believe by that time the even though at first our finance is not that strong because in hotels in Malaysia we have 18, 19 hotels in Malaysia all over Malaysia. Penang, Kepala Batas, Kuala Terengganu, and Lawas are the hotel that cannot collapse. Because if we collapse, it's going to affect other hotel. Because some of other hotel like Rompin, like Kuantan, they a bit outside of the town, right? So they cannot get any revenue at all. So these four hotel need like abang-abang lah, need to support them a bit to pump it. So when Penang, when Lawas, when Kuala Batas or Terengganu collapse, so that's going to be give a big trouble to other hotels too. Because every revenue that we gain, we need to pump to our HQ. So because we are the only hotel like chain hotel, right? Rangkaian. So we the only hotel. We have like 18 hotels. So this hotel who can make money, we need to help our other hotel like Rompin, like Mersing. They stay outside of the world. So we need to help them bid. So that's the reason why Penang, why Kuala Batas, Lawas, Kuala Baru need to work extra harder during the time. Mm.
So, would you say that finances is like your hardest, like during that time, like managing your finances? Would you say that's the hardest, or other like? uh, things come
If
into play?
you for Penang, I won't say like we in the very serious situation because why? Because like I told you, Penang is like we have our own revenue, we have our own saving, which is we don't ask our HQ to give us money during that time. So before pandemic, 2018, 2017, 2019, before pandemic, we actually making handsomely money, handsomely revenue during that time. So when pandemic hit, uh, we still can survive for at least 2 years because of our saving. But still, our HQ instruct us not to taking that for advantage because even though you have your saving, still you need to think very carefully how to running your hotel like in a proper way during pandemic season.
Right, right.
Because
That's where
my
the other, yeah, that's where the other strategies came about, lah.
yeah,
You had to come
correct,
up,
correct,
yeah.
correct. Actually, Penang don't have any problem during finance by that time. But still, we have to work hard because of our hotel, like adik-adik, our brother, our sister, our hotel need to uh, some sort of revenue. So you need to think too. You need to be very wise on that time. So that's the reason. That's the reason. In during for Penang, especially, we don't like affect by during about finance by the time. But for other hotel, like Rompin, like Mersing, yes, it affect them very worse.
I can imagine, yeah.
Yep, correct.
So these days it's like everything is going back to the new norm and businesses are slowly opening up, right? And I'm sure your hotel has competition, right? So what does your hotel offer, like, to like how do you manage to attract your customers? Like, do you have special offers or something like that? Like for them to loyally only come to your hotel. Do you have something like that?
For hotels from Malaysia, the reason we still sustain during pandemic because we not rely too much on tourists, which is international tourists. Because because 4 star, 5 star hotel, there are a lot of international tourists, right? So for you, you said, Irene, you also will if you come in Penang, for sure you go for Hard Rock, right? You, hotel stream Malaysia that didn't in your mind,
Yeah.
just be honest, right? Right.
Yeah.
Still, that's but uh, during pandemic, the reason we can sustain because of our local tourists. So that is why Hotel Malaysia can sustain even though for long years to come because of this local tourists, local domestic. So people already recognize what actually Hotel Malaysia is all about because of our food, because of our rooms, and then cost is not much, like 130, 120, you can come to Hotel Malaysia. So to get a good to get a good room and food with like very little price to pay, that's the main attraction. But to local domestic, especially from we go for like uh, domestic local domestic. So we like very famous during local domestic. So they know what we actually offer in terms of food, in terms of room, with little price you can pay. Hotel Malaysia is the answer.
Oh. So do you think like now that like since December is coming along and most probably want to go for hotels and vacation, staycation and all, do you think like because your hotel is more recognized now, do you think you'll get like a lot more customers, or will it still like be the same number of customers like before pandemic?
Local domestic customer, uh, I receive a call, many, mostly who stay in JB, who stay in Selangor, who actually our loyal customer. So those who call us actually know what we can offer, even though we have like new customer, but still our loyal customer is our main after this all the interstate travel, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they call us, right? Can aku nak booking lah. Aku lama dah tak datang hotel Indonesia lah. Penang buat. It sounds like that. So we are lucky because of this our loyal customer. We have no worry in our mind. Because once they know what we can offer, once they know what our service is all about, so the business come to you. It's not you looking for the business. So it's like make my job a bit easier in terms of room, but still we don't take in everything for I don't we don't take anything for granted, right? We still have a lot of things to offer. We have a lot of room. We have a lot of food, good food. Big wedding is coming on December, so everything is back in order. So that's the reason why we are so lucky.
So everything is back in order, coming slowly about lah, like
Correct. So
better.
actually during November I can get like few more wedding, like 5 wedding for the next few weeks during November. But still after reopening we need to be very cautious, right? Be
Yes,
very
yes,
careful.
yes. Mm-hmm.
So even though the government, especially in Pinang, Kedah, already in phase 4, but still we don't take like we don't take any big wedding yet. I told my team we only can get wedding by December at least. So during November we started with banquet, with cruises, seminar, whatsoever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Started with small gathering first to
Mm-hmm.
ensure everything. Is it okay? We open. Is it okay? Is does our customer follow the SOP? Uh, does they can accept that with new SOP? And then so far so good. So they can follow the rules here. And after I can like big wedding, lunch or any dinner, right? So when I can get everything back in order, only on December I can go for 300 to 500 wedding by December onwards.
300
So
to 500
yep,
weddings.
yep.
Oh, wow, that's quite a lot.
But still I need to well prepare.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I call Rela to go to check the SOP. We hotel personally hired Rela to check the SOP because it's not easy to manage people, during wedding. So there a lot of people come and go, right? So we need to someone to just focus on SOP. So that's why we hired Rela.
Yeah. Because
Mm,
some people might not really follow. They might in the middle of it like be very close together, not really social distance and all. Yeah,
correct,
it's a good idea to hire it
correct.
specifically. Like, I think a lot of our viewers actually can come to your hotel if they plan to come to Penang. So
Yeah,
that because you can get more customers in.
correct.
It's like
And
you
then
said, this hotel
and
is
then
not mine.
yeah. And the reason why I can get for 300 pairs for wedding, for Malay wedding especially, because of Malay wedding is not like others wedding who can like, oh, I just want 300 lump sum. No, they come and go
Ah,
staggered.
okay.
So even though 300 is sounds like many, right?
Yeah.
But they just eat and then just staggered. So it's not compared to like Indian. I manage Indian wedding, Malay, even Chinese wedding here.
Mm.
Uh, the to be honest, the comparison is a bit different. So Indian or Chinese wedding, they prefer to sit all. I mean like 300, like 100 chair. So need to 100 chair on the hall, right?
Mhm,
But
mhm,
for
mhm.
Malay wedding, it's like staggered. So that's why I can get 300 pairs.
Ah,
Mm,
okay, okay, I see, I see.
mm,
I think so far we have a better grasp at understanding how your business specifically
mm.
managed to survive during the pandemic. So I think that's all. That's all the questions I have for you. So thank you very much for the descriptive and well thought answers, Mr. Ammar.
Thank you,
But
thank you.
yeah, however, we'll move to the Q&A session right now. So
Sure,
it's
sure,
time for audience. Yeah, if they have any questions, you can always post at the question box, and yeah, Mr. Ammar can answer it for you.
sure, sure. Cool.
All right, we have one from Keshawar. They're asking, we undergo a crisis similar to the pandemic. What advice would you give us, or more like you have learned from it? Similar to the pandemic.
Let's
Oh,
say Takut. What's Takut stand for?
I think it's takut, scared.
Huh?
I think, yeah, I think so. Yeah. Mm,
Takut. Let me Google it first.
so yeah, uh,
Is it tacos?
yeah, straight away. Yeah, feelings of anguish. So it's like kind of like scared also, not takut. It's a slang, I think. It's a slang that's used.
Ah, is it tacos?
It's,
Is it food?
no, no, no. That's tacos. This is takut.
Takut. What is takut? Let's say takut.
Like feelings of anguish are like scared, like takut. You know, TAK.
Ah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
let's say we undergo a crisis similar to the pandemic. For me, Keshavar, thank you for the for the question. Takut. Okay. For me, uh, let's say uh, we having like similar like pandemic crisis. For any business, you have to act fast. You have to have your mental in a good shape. So let's say we don't ask for, but we have to prepare because when we're talking about crisis, uh, one I still remember my proposal before I plan to do my PhD is about crisis management. That's my proposal before I have it like write a blog, you know. So in crisis, you have like three phases, which is pre, post, and after crisis, right? So let's say for any organization who having like very you have to be well prepared for any crisis. So before a crisis hit you, you have to think what will happen. Let's say we having like similar crisis like pandemic. So in so that is the important thing to understand the value or the knowledge about managing crisis. Because as long as your company know how to manage your crisis, then you can receive, you can absorb all the circumstances during any crisis. So as long as you have like as long as you knowledgeable about crisis, so you can manage everything back. Is it
Okay.
answer your question, Keshavar? Because I still remember, Erin, before I entered in industry, like 4 or 5 years, 10 years ago, I plan to do my PhD. So, so crisis, when you're talking about corporate communication, crisis is one of my favorite subject. You know, we are public relation, right? So, so my paperwork, my proposal is about crisis. That's the reason. That's why I believe that in every organization, even hotel stream Malaysia or like yeah, airline industry, if they don't have like crisis management, I think they having a lot of difficulty. Uh, and then that is why, for example, if we take Asia, Tony Fernandez is one of my mentor when I want to look up in term of how he managed the business, right? So we can see Asia having very difficult time. But one thing for sure, what I like about Tony Fernandez that he give he gave his people hope that even though I retrench you, but once everything is back to normal, and I will hire you back, right? So that is what I heard for the last few days on media, in news, right? Tony Fernandez is currently is recruit back those who has been retrenched. So it's good. You give people hope,
Yeah. And he
right?
kept his promise. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like promise. When you said something and you keep that word, so people will appreciate that. And that's why I said lead by example. The 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 the, the leadership is something that you need to understand very well. So I think Tony Fernandez is one of my favorite mentor when I want to see any what we call positive vibe, right? So you
Right.
can see a lot of things. A Asia right lah, A Asia Rira, and then there's a lot of things, a lot of business they can do. So same, I try to adapt some of that's why we try to adapt for hotels from Malaysia, especially in Pinang, Baru. We try to be something like flexible. Who on earth been thinking hotels from Malaysia, Baru during pandemic can get 500 packs for hostel? So that's something like we try to uh, be fast. We try to what we call we try to uh, absorb with this all this difficulty, right? So,
Yeah.
so that's the reason. when you saw like when you have like mentor, when you read leadership book, uh, management book, so you have like few mentor that you look up. So that's the reason why I try to be different. I try to be like, I don't want like hotel. You just need to sell all the room, all the food. So you don't want to think of otherwise. So it's not my style. So I try to be different with other hotel. And Alhamdulillah, everything for Penang, everything is okay. We try to manage everything back to normal, back in track, right? Mm.
Right, right. I see. We have another question from same person. She's asking, what's your input on the travel bubble, sir? And I'm eager for travels. In your opinion, when can we go back to the glory days?
Soon as possible. I believe for hotel industry, January 2022 is a good day. I think I will say that is the glory days because for domestic tourism, since our government already opened the interstate traveler, so we received a lot of domestic industry tourists. So for let's say for what we call borders, if you want to go somewhere in Europe, we recently our Master Jastra can be accessed with some country. So I think it's good, Europe, right? So I think it's good, which is government did their part in order to make everything back to normal. So I believe our glory day going to be very soon. January onward is 2022 is our big day for hotel industry. Mm.
Right, I see. So January, like you would say, that
January is not for like Keshava said that travel bubble, right? For travel, let's say you're going to go in Malaysia, domestic shouldn't be any problem. Right? But if you want to go to outside in Malaysia, I think January is January 22. I think it's very near to get everything back to normal. As long as you get vaccinated lah, Bashida. Okay, Shabar.
yeah, as long as you get vaccinated, then you can go.
Ah,
Places, yeah. It means you cannot get fined.
hmm.
Mm.
How
Thank
about
you.
you, Irene?
Hmm?
How
Yeah.
about you? When are you going to plan to come Penang?
Oh, actually, I came Penang like before pandemic 2017 lah. But my family has been talking to go on a holiday for Christmas, maybe
Yeah.
a week before Christmas, something like that lah. But I don't think Penang lah. Maybe you're planning to go like I don't know. Last we talked like Langkawi or something like that. So yeah, or Malacca, not Penang lah. But if I come to Penang, I'll make sure to come to your hotel because now that
No, don't worry about that. You know why? I have to admit, hotel in Malaysia is like very domestic. Like very traditional style, Malaysian style actually. So we like have like certain audience, like I mentioned to you. So we don't do Christmas here. We don't have any buffet for Christmas
oh, okay.
because we know that there is no point for us to fight against our big gun like Eastern Hotel, Harrock Hotel, what else? Prestige. So they're like five-star hotel who serve so many delicious food during Christmas. Hotels in Malaysia, Penang is we are recognized by domestic tourism. Even though we do like like buffet here, but still on 25th already have wedding here, so it's no point. Mm. Uh, during December, Friday, Saturday, Sunday for each week, my schedule is very packed with wedding. Like I have 4 weeks. The whole 4 weeks is very packed with wedding. So
Mm.
even Christmas on 25th bilang
Mm.
see Christmas jatuh hari Sabtu 25th. So I have already have wedding.
Mm.
So we don't like have so sorry we don't have
It's okay, it's okay. Like each to their own, like each hotels have their own this one lah. But I mean,
yeah.
it's good lah. Now that I've heard of another hotel in Penang,
Mhm.
if I'm there, I will come and visit.
Yeah. But still we have otherwise we still have what we call the SOP need to be applied
Mm.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Currently we quite the case still like 4 to 6K, right? Yesterday
Yeah.
like
Yes.
something.
Mm-hmm.
So even though our hotels sanitize our lobby, our room, our cafe regularly, at least regularly like three 3 times per day, but still we take extra precautions. That's for sure. It's
Yeah.
still
It's,
well, mm,
it's good to be careful lah and take
yeah,
precaution.
mask
So,
everything.
so if
So,
our audience has no more questions, I think
any question?
I think we don't have any more. Um, I think, oh, yeah, there is one, another one. Uh, they're asking, sir, would you consider branching out overseas, maybe bringing Malaysia to them rather than them to us? It's a good question.
Mm, it's a good question, Kishafa.
Hmm.
Uh, Actually, for Hotel Malaysia, we is like very strong in terms of brand in Malaysia. Like our local, we carry Malaysia as our main brand. Uh, before pandemic, we have planned to partner up with some of like budget hotel over there. So to have hotel stream Malaysia there. But that one is for hotel stream Malaysia, right? But unfortunately, even though we sign up like MOU with them, pandemic hit us. That's a true story, Kashua. So we already planned everything back then, 2019, 2020. But we're supposed to have like our first outlet at Greece. Yep. But it's not like big hotel lah. I really like we taking like being partnered up with some of budget hotel. So Hotel Submission is considered as budget hotel too, even though we carry our hotel names, but that one is considered we like 3 or 4 stars, three or 2 or 3 star hotel. But by that time, 2019, we already planned everything, but unfortunately, everything we planned is wrong, right?
Yeah.
But still, I think with new CEO, we received our new CEO for the last 3 or 5 months, I think. 5 months. So he got vision. He went to hotel industry, especially hotel stream Malaysia, to come up with new idea to have like our own product, like anything, like packaging or sambal or whatsoever. But in term of to partner up with budget hotel in Greece, I don't think we might put on hold because when and that's the reason why that's what we call it when every management new management come, so there are some like things need to change a bit, right? So I think who knows, I can go to Greece to manage some of that, but still it's sayang lah, it's very disappointed bit lah for me because of course I want to bring Malaysia everywhere, right? Especially in Japan, Greece is a good ni. UK. So people already recognize us, but it's time for us to think something differently. So who knows? The idea will about the pan up with some of the hotel will come again very soon.
Hopefully for you, Mr. Ammar.
Mm.
Yeah.
Actually, it's a good 2019. We already have MOU with Greece budget hotel. So sayang lah. Mm.
It's okay, Mr. Ammar. I'm sure future what bosses will come to you again. Especially since you're good at handling these things, right? And I'm sure you want new perspectives, new challenges when you're staying in this line of work. Mm.
Because Malaysian name in overseas is very big. You know, you can go UK. We have Malaysian there. You go. Even my brother also is the manager for FMB, right? Eastern
Mm-hmm.
Hotel. He's been working in UK for like 20 years before he coming back in Penang and then be one of the F&B manager in Eastern Hotel. Eastern Hotel is considered four-star hotel. So I learned a lot since hotel simulation is my stepping stone for me to know hotel industry. So I learned a lot during with his experience. We do talking about house Malaysian there. So the been 20 years in hotel industry, especially in UK. So it's a good. He said that it is a good experience, and so Wembley, so Ibis, he managed Ibis too. So it's all the hotel in very good our accepting sorry what we call Malaysian there, even though our uh, UK British also accept Malaysian culture everywhere. We have a lot of Malaysian there UK.
That's good. That's good. They can have a taste of home lah while they're.
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm. I think that was a very good question. I don't think if you guys have more questions, you can ask in the chat box. Question box. Hmm. So, Mr. Ammar, right after this event, you'll be going back to handling your preparations, right? Like to and fro.
Come again, come again.
You'll be busy, right, after this?
Sure. I
Oh,
had a group book. I had a group check-in.
Kishavar wishes you the best. Good luck for it, and looking forward to stream Malaysia when he goes to Greece.
5 years, 5 years, 5 year. Because hotel industry is like 3 or 4 years. You need to go experience other place too, right? I also want to go Hard Rock, and then later I meet Irene over there lah, Hard Rock, Penang. So
Can.
one thing for sure, guys, hotel, even though they retrench their staff during pandemic, right? But still, for the last 2 months after interstate traveling is occur, they start recruiting staff. Even though they recruiting my staff, so it's a good thing they receive letter offer. So that's a good thing when they open the vacancy, right? So, but currently I've been working alone. Sales marketing need at least five in Penang. Need five people to running the business, but I working alone. Can you imagine that? All those big star, big gun
Yes.
hotel, 5 star, just
Yes.
recruit my team. Oh, I need to recruit my new team back. But still, there is still better offer. Don't worry. Mm.
Hope you can keep up with the work, Mr. Ammar. You know it's
Ah,
very busy.
that's why I've been rushing a bit.
Mhm.
Because, but it's a good signs, when they're starting to recruit back. So I believe that's answer Keshavar's question whether the hotel industry is coming back to normal, right? So when they recruit everything back, so meaning hotel industry in a good track, because before this we lost like at least Malaysian lost for tourism at least 1 billion per month now. Can you imagine
Yeah.
1,000 billion equal to 1,000 million, right? So you can you imagine how many staff have been retrenched all over Malaysia? 100,000 something, if I'm not mistaken, for the last updated on August, 100 something. So we lost at least 1 billion per month. I think more than that. So when for as a hotelier, when you heard other hotels starting to recruit, it's like a good thing coming back.
Mhm. I
We
do
supposed
agree.
to have, right? We
Mhm.
supposed to 2020 in a good way, but we
Yeah.
received like very difficult time. But once they already receive, they already back on track. Hotel industry can open vacancy like crazy. So I believe everything is back to normal back very soon.
Yeah. Yeah. It's good to hear that, and it's good to hear other businesses also opening back. Really need that for economy. So
Mm.
I think we can conclude here.
Yep.
So let me just take this moment again to thank you, Mr. Ammar, for joining us here today
My
and being a
pleasure. My pleasure.
guest speaker. So yeah, thank you very much, and thank you to our audience for watching. So I guess that's it for me from moderator today. So yeah, see. Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye bye. Stay safe, Irene. Take care,
Yeah,
everyone.
sure. Stay safe. Take care. You too.
Okay. Bye bye.
Bye. Can you? Can you?
Hi everyone. So before you guys leave, I need your help for a bit. Could you like fill in this form for this event?
Oh, oh
It's
yeah,
evaluation form.
yeah.
So thank you so much everyone. Hope you guys have a great day. We're gonna signing off. Thank you everyone.
Thank you, everyone.